Hey guys, Becky here, Aunt Beck's Creations, and we're just going to come on and do a dirty dozen on this rainy day. I need thank you cards for Christmas gifts, so I figured we could do a background that I could turn into some thank you cards. Hi, Mary Hill. So I'll wait a few minutes and see who all shows up. I did not see the mail leave any mail, but that doesn't mean that there isn't some out there in the mailbox. And I'm trying to do laundry, and y'all know the washing machine is in the basement, and I have to go outside to get to the basement, and then I have to bring the wet clothes back out and come up the stairs to put them in the dryer here. So trying to do laundry on a rainy day kind of stinks sometimes. But we'll make it happen. And Tippy's extra needy today. He's not happy it's raining. He'd like to go outside, but get his paws wet. He's at the door again. Scott will just push him out into the rain.
Okay, so you let him off.
Hi, Zoe. All right, so what we're going to do is a dirty dozen, and I'm going to pick the first one because I want to cover the whole background, and I chose the color blue. So the first prompt's going to be add blue, and then after that, I'll call on somebody to call whatever we do next. How does that sound? And then I'll put the 12 prompts. I've got me a piece of paper here to write them down as we go, and I will add them to the description box after we sign off. So the first one is add blue. It can be any color or type of blue you want. You can do blue tape, blue paint, blue markers, crayons, anything you want to do. Just get your background covered in some blue. So I'm going to grab a couple blues and my Bondo spreader and spread it around. I think I'll use three blues. And I looked at Dollar General and did not find the Bondo spreader, so they must not carry them anymore. Hi, Holly. So for those that are just coming in, we're going to do a dirty dozen, and the first prompt is blue. And then when we get this done, I'll call on somebody to give us the next prompt. So that way, everybody gets a chance to do a prompt they enjoy doing until we use 12 of them up. I need to turn this other lamp off because I'm getting a horrendous shadow. There, that's better. All we're getting is rain and more rain, and it's so depressing. I keep thinking I'm going to buy myself one of those happy lights. You know, oh, this is a neon I grabbed. This ought to be interesting. Hi, Debbie. Yeah, I've been thinking about getting a happy light just to get through these dismal days of winter. It's so overcast. It's hard to get the light to work. Let me see if I can get the handmade aluminum foil covered reflector out of the closet and see if it'll make any difference whatsoever. Ian told me to do that, and it does help. And since all the cats are outside, maybe I can actually use it and have it work this time. See if we can reflect some back up at me. I don't know if that'll help or not. We'll see. A little bit. All right, so I'm just going to spread this with the Bondo spreader. Mainly, I just want to get color all over the place here. And this is super fast, and you get a nice thin coat, so you don't have to wait on a bunch to dry. right, I'm going to need a little bit more for the bottom half here. Oh, goodness. When it's foggy, our Howie cat totally freaks out. He hates the fog. Well, this is not spreading as easy as I thought it would. That neon paint barely gives you any coverage, but makes for a neat addition in the background. Right, there we go. Mine's all blue. All right. Hi, Sharon. Oh, I was going to show you while I'm waiting for somebody else to say they're ready. Woo. The pen that Mindy sent me was in that pretty little box, and I love the Live, Laugh, Love. So I got my circle punch out, and I punched some circles out of the box. I opened the box up flat and then punched out just about all the Live, Love, Laughs. And I thought how neat those would be as an artist trading card embellishment. So I'm saving those for when we do some Valentine's type things. Okay, Kathy's ready. Kathy, you call out the next prompt. What should we do next? I turned the notifications back on, so I was getting them, but it was running up my data on my phone so much, and we pay by what we use, so that wasn't working out for me, so I had to turn notifications back off. Well, Kathy, is it okay? Mary Hill said add some dots. Okay, Kathy said add circles. So we'll do add dots and circles. We'll combine two. Add dots and circles. So I've got a piece of PVC pipe here and some bubble wrap. So that worked out good for me because I can add dots with the bubble wrap, circles with my PVC pipe. So whatever color you want to do your dots and circles, grab it and we'll go from there. Let's see. I always like yellow and blue together. So I'm going to get two shades of yellow. I think a real pale one for the circles and this cadmium yellow for the dots. And I'll just put some out here on my drop paper. And I'm not going to put a lot, just a little bit. So we're trying to decipher what's going on with my parents' water because periodically it'll shut off. We think we've discovered that it's the water, the pressure tank for the water has failed, and the rubber thing that's inside has broken down, and periodically it'll plug it up. And what's bad is it's usually when my dad is in the shower and he is covered in soap and the water cuts off, and it stays off from anywhere from 2 minutes to 10 minutes. And you get pretty cold when you're covered in water and soap. So between Scott and my brother Charles, we're trying to figure out what to do. And I talked to my sister Robin today. She was driving to Charleston to see her son that's in the Navy because she had the flu on Christmas Day, and his fiance is down from Maryland. So she said she'd try to hook up with them before she had the future daughter-in-law had to go back to work. And I told her, I said, if we all pitched in, all 6 of us pitched in $25, we could get mom and dad a new water tank. So we might do that. This is number 2, is add dots and circles. My dots didn't turn out too good, but I'm gonna go with what I got. It sounds like my brother is called Scott back. I can hear Scott's voice in the basement. And yeah, we went through 100 gallons of fuel oil pretty quick because this little house is got really old leaky windows and we don't think there's any insulation in the walls. It was built in 1944. So, yeah, after 2 trips to Spartanburg and then going down to the house and back up, we decided to just stay home this weekend and recuperate since Scott's not supposed to be overexerting until he's had that stress test. So, all right. There's my dots. I think I'll dry a little bit. Hi, Janet. Thanks, Holly. I got to plug my, when we leave, I unplug everything. So I've got to plug my heat gun back in. We kind of wish we had a well specialist in the family for my parents' well situation. But we'll get it figured out one way or another. All right, somebody else want to call out the next prompt? Whatever you all want to do next, I'll write it down. Well, Zoe, you'll just have to do the best you can, honey. All right, Debbie says add lines. So add lines. Add lines. All right, let me go. Oh, I can use my my Bondo spreader. Maybe some orange lines. I don't really like orange all that much, but maybe I'll try this burnt orange for a change. Mary Hill, that's what we're thinking, that it's the bladder has failed inside the tank, pressure tank. And so that's why I was thinking maybe, and they said they bought it used anyway. And I looked up on Home Depot and we can get another water tank for them for like $150. And with 6 kids and we all pitch in, it would only be about $25 a piece to help them. And see, my stepdad has COPD, and right now he's got a lung infection, and his upper lobes are just full of mucus. And he went to the doctor yesterday, and they told him to up his treatments from every 6 hours to every 2 hours. And they put him on a steroid, an antibiotic, and prescription strength Mucinex. So hopefully that'll get him cleared up. We tried to get him to quit smoking for years, and my mom was a respiratory therapist. So she knew what was coming when he wouldn't quit smoking, and COPD is no picnic. I was quite upset when I found my son smoking. He currently does the vape thing, but I don't think that's any better than smoking. But because, you know, whatever's in the vape stuff is not regulated at all. So who knows what they stick in that. Scott smoked until Greg was 4, and then he quit. because he said he didn't want to be a bad example to Greg, but it was already too late. Greg was already in it. All right. Everybody has a right to choose what they do with their body, but they got to know that there's consequences for it later down the road that are not very pleasant. Put it that way. Yeah. It doesn't really have a theme. Mine's going to be made up into thank you cards. So whatever you all call out, I'm going to make it work one way or another. Was that Charles?
Yeah.
He didn't recognize your number, did he?
Nobody believes what I think.
Oh, they don't believe it? Well, that's what everybody on here said. Maybe it's the bladder inside the pressure tank. That's what Mary Hill said. Well, Scott's going, yeah, but nobody wants to believe it.
Are they useless?
Yes, they are fun. Yeah, my stepdad's on oxygen 24/7, so he has a tube he carries around the house. Basically, he's got a very long cord. We just have to be careful none of us are stepping on it when he's like out in the main room. He's been having a really rough time the last few weeks, and then finally he went back to the doctor yesterday. So hopefully the new meds will get him cleared out, but it's just a rough road. And then my mom, she's been having trouble with her lower plate, and her teeth don't fit at all. So she's found a new place to go to see if she can get her some dentures that'll actually stay in her mouth, poor thing. So she was going around while we were there with just her upper plate in. Told her she sounded like a cartoon character. She said, Becky. Okay, somebody want to call out the next prompt? I've got my lines added. Anybody can call out a prompt. I'll take the first one that pops up. Use black with a stencil. Okay, prompt 4 is use black with a stencil. And I'm going to use the stencil Scott got me for Christmas because it's right here. It's a Crafter's Workshop stencil. I just got to grab some black. This is called Mini Microbial. Ta-da! All right, so let me grab some black paint. Black paint. Lamp black. Scott's trying to do something with the rain. Uh-oh. Whoa! I said I was going to put out a little, put out a lot. That's okay. These artist sponges like this, they really soak the paint up inside. It's hard to get it to work back out, I'm finding. Boy, it looks really intense there on the screen. Scott loves it when I do the list on Amazon. He says it makes his life so much easier. And he got me a new ironing board cover. See, when we do a sewing video, you won't have to look at that old, dirty, wore-out, hole-filled ironing board cover anymore. And he got me a new SanDisk. It's a 64 gig. And what else? He got me something else. Oh, he got me a package of 10 45 millimeter rotary blades. So I can change my blade out a little bit more often. Now, see, that sponge soaked up so much of that paint. So I'm going to have to get out a little bit more. Maybe. When these paints start getting empty, it's so hard to get that last little bit out. And that one's got a glob in it. I think it's time for some new paint. Need to try to I need to have a printing session and use up all my old paint until it's all gone. And then I can go out and buy fresh new paint. Of course, then you take a chance of how long has it been on the shelf too, you know. You never know. Oh, well. Uh-oh. Looks like it's, I don't know if it's messed up under there or not. No, doesn't look too bad. All right, I think I'm going to leave that and not cover the whole thing in black spots, even though the desire to do it is there. But I want to leave some area for the next prompts. I'm going to go rinse this. Oh, I wish I could see it, Mary Hill. That's awesome. Sorry, Mark. Are you feeling any better? I saw where you said you weren't feeling well. Yeah, Debbie, that's what I'm thinking. The whole family should do Amazon wish lists and let it, let the rest of the family know a link to their wish list. It would make everything so much better. I've got a paint rack, so all of my paint is kind of sideways. I got it at the thrift store. Oh. Well, I hope you get to feeling better. I'm going to go rinse this. I'll be right back. Since it's brand new, I want to keep it nice for a little while. Hi, Callie. You on patrol? You look irritated. I'll leave it to dry there by the sink. I know what I'm going to do about the water pump. The water tank that my brother says it's not that. I'm going to go on YouTube and see if I can find proof that that could be it, just to support Scott. So I'm done with my black with stencil. So if somebody else wants to call out another prompt, everybody else is probably going, wait, wait, wait. Okay, Able to Rejoice says lavender purple. So lavender purple. Let me go see if I've got some. I might have to just use, I might just have to use whatever I have. Like I said, I'm trying to use all my paint up and start fresh. Let's see. That says Purple Cow. Light lavender. Of course, I could use something else, but I don't think I have anything. We'll see what shape this is because I got it on clearance. Let's see. What do I want to do? Maybe another stencil? No. Let's see here. I think I'll use this one. Well, I've got this light lavender, but I've also got the Purple Cow. I could put a little bit of each and just combine them. You know, so I pick up a little of each one. Purple Cow needs to be shaken. It's not. Hi, Roesta. Sharon's saying a bird stencil for the next one. I don't know if I have any birds. That's the problem. Let's finish the purples and then we'll go to the next one. Lavenders. See, it's still kind of a lavender. It's pretty close. So this one's light lavender and this is Purple Cow. And I'll just pick a different side of my sponge I've got here. I'll put a little bit of each one out. They're pretty close. All right, so I'll go in the areas that I left blank before. And Mary, I was watching Dee Dee when she got your pretty envelope. She really liked that. It looked so gorgeous on her notebook too. It was like it was made for it. Perfect fit. These are going to be some colorful thank you notes. We went a back way from Greenville to Spartanburg yesterday that we came home on the night before. Yeah, we're road weary. We're pretty tired of going. Prompt 5 was lavender purple or Purple Cow or a combination of both, but lavenderish colored. And you can use it any way you want. I just grabbed another stencil. It's to use a lavender, so a light purple. Okay, so if you guys are ready, we'll do Sharon Marlowe's prompt, a teal bird. I'm going to have to see what I can find that's bird related. So it might take me an extra minute to find that. So that's why I went ahead and announced it. I think I do have a bird, but it's big. Teal and teal. Teal is kind of a, I'm trying to picture what teal is. I have a turquoise. Yeah, I have all this turquoise. Teal is more green, isn't it? I might use this deep ocean blue. I don't really have a teal, but I'm thinking it's more green. Let's see if I've got a bird in here. Oh, I do. Oh, yippee skippy. I have this bird right here. Well, there's actually two birds there, but I'm going to use this one that looks like a dove. And I'll use this ocean blue. Oh, I wish I had some makeup sponges. But I have one. I keep forgetting to go to the Dollar Tree and get makeup sponges. All right, so because I want to make these into cards, I want to make sure each section gets a little bit of a bird. So add some dark green to my turquoise. Okay, dark green. I don't know what we'll end up with. It might be a mess and a half, but let's see what we can do. I really need a better palette than these little guys. This. All right. This is probably overkill, but let's see what I can come up with. Making rude noises over here. A teal bird. Oh, okay. I got some now. But I was talking about, we took one of the back ways across, and it was a lot less stressful than getting on 385 and 85. Let's see what I get. Here, if I mix these two together. I don't want to go any darker than that. Okay, this might not be, perfect, but that looks more teal to me than before. Stick that stick in there. See what we get here. Let's see. We'll put one up a little ways. It's not locked, babe. I don't know how it got locked. I didn't lock it. Oh, you did, and then went out the back. Hi, baby. Oh. Thank you. Test strips, paperwork for my next appointment, and then something. I don't know what it is. It says it's fragile. I'm going to open the fragile package in case it's something from y'all. Let's see, what is it? Now you cannot jump up. Oh, it's not. It's my losartan tablets, my blood pressure medicine. So Scott went to the mailbox for medical stuff. Oh, well. Okay. Then we'll come back down lower for this bird here. I keep saving those applesauce containers because they make a great mixing area, but I'm like, how many of those can I save, and do I want to save? All right, let's see. We'll come back over here. The cats would very much like for me to turn the rain off. If I could just manage that, they'd be so happy with me. They are not pleased that it's raining again. I envision this summer they'll disappear into the woods and I'll rarely see them because they're so fed up with rain. Howie, he just hangs out on the back porch in the rocking chair. I told Scott, I said, we're going to have to find a house that has a really nice deep porch that we can have rockers on it and we can have a cat in each rocker. He said, ugh. A cat rocker for every one of them. And I told him, I said, I'm going to get some more of the big pots, clay pots, and just put dirt in them and randomly put them in spots in the yard that are get sunshine on them, and they can be cat lures. They all love to lay on a flower pot. I don't know why. All right, I'm just going to have just his tail and part of his wing hanging off from here to kind of complete the pattern. And then I'll go throw this in the sink. And this sponge will just go in the water jug. And Callie wants out again. All right, so there's my teal bird. Hang on, she's about to hurt herself on the door trying to get out. You are a nutcase. You're a nutcase. It's still raining. Yes. Nobody turned it off. It's still raining. I saw somebody did an Aunt Beck's Creations. Let me see what's being asked here. I have not, Mary. Yes, Beverly Hills. I'm going to put them in the description box after I sign off. I'll try to remember to do it right away, but sometimes I wait for it to completely process. I don't have to, but sometimes I do. I think I got the questions. You sent it on December 19th, and today's goodness gracious. I don't know. I have not received it. And you sent it here to the Saluda Lake address in Greenville. I have some round robins missing for the quilting group too. And it's very upsetting because the ladies are getting so close to getting them back. And now I think we have 3 missing. And they are so close to being done and home. I'm so hoping they turn up this week. Kathy, that works. Close enough. Something that flies. Okay, is everybody ready to go on to the next one? This will be prompt 7, and somebody needs to throw a prompt up for prompt 7. Gold. Mary will be happy with that. Gold. And I think I'm going to dry mine so that I can, or maybe I'll use paint. I don't know. I'm going to dry a little bit and then use gold. Mary's happy. Scott must be doing something with the furnace because I can smell fuel oil. Is everything okay down there, Scott? Scott, you in the basement? He must not be down there. I've got, let's see. I've got this gold deco marker. Got to shake it good though. Yeah, I hope everything gets caught up soon because I've got some ladies that are getting quite upset that their round robins are missing. Hi, Howard. Hi, you coming for a snack? Did you hear me talking to Daddy? You've got food. Go eat. All right, let's see if this will flow good today. And it's not wanting to do. I hope it doesn't mess the tip up. Well, maybe it's just not as... Mary, I'll let you know when it arrives, though. I'll look at chat here in just a minute. I'm kind of concentrating on where I'm putting gold here. I'm having fun connecting with family I didn't know I had on Ancestry, so that's been interesting. And of course, my mom was totally surprised by a lot of it. She had no idea. So she's been enjoying seeing me learn about the family I didn't know I had. Buddy, I'll let you back out. You don't have to be a nuisance. I know it's way more fun to get into stuff and be a nuisance, isn't it, Howard? You want to go out? Or are you going to get in that chair and be a good boy? He wants to go out. Okay. All right. You want to go back outside? All right. I thought you were a pain in the neck when I go live at night. It's worse during the day, I think. These are going to be some very colorful thank you note cards. I kind of like the gold just on the edge of the bird, on the top edges of him. Scott said there was some things he wanted to do today, but with the rain, he's not going to get to do them. But at least we're not on the road. My sister asked if we were going to make it to the nephew's wedding. And I told her, to be honest, probably not, because it's up in Maryland and we're so sick of driving and traveling. But I'll make something nice. I still owe his sister something nice for her wedding. So maybe I'll do both gifts this year and get them. Yeah, I think I'm going to do some searching on the old YouTube when I get off here about this problem we're having with Mom's well tank. We want to make sure it's something above ground before we start pulling the pump out, which is like permanently put down in the well. They did it 20-something years ago. I guess they figured, the well would outlast my parents or something. I don't know. All right, let me see what you guys. Hi, Joey. Hi, Ian. Let me go back up here to see if I can see. I'll look for Mary's smiley faces. There we go. Oh, Kendra, I'm sorry. Roesta, I can completely understand about the cats wanting attention. Ours have been kind of annoying this morning. Yeah, Sharon Marlowe, my normal day is Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern time. And Mary does Friday nights at 7:30 Central. Is that right? And then Lisa does 7 Central on Mondays, I think. You guys correct me if I'm wrong. Well, Debbie, I hope you get some answers. The lady I grew up knowing in a roundabout way that she was my grandmother, but I was not to acknowledge her, was actually my great-grandmother. So it's been interesting. So I'm quote meeting aunts for the first time. Yay! Yeah, Kathy, see, that's my thinking. I want to make sure it's not something like if we can just replace a $150 pressure tank, that's a whole lot a different ball game than that cotton picking, pulling all of that mess out of the ground. And Mary also does, she's been doing a 4:30 in the morning, Tuesdays and Thursdays, Central Time. Oh, everybody's beeping me. Hi, Rosa. How are you? I hope you had a good Christmas. Okay, somebody call a prompt out. We are on prompt 8. Scrape paint. Mary, how could you? Scrape paint. Oh, goodness. Scrape paint. Scrape paint. Oh, my goodness. What am I going to do for scrape paint? I will use a palette knife. Scrape paint. I'm reeling on that one. I don't know if I want to. I don't want to do that. No. Splendid gold. I'll add more gold. That's what I'll do. Everything's better with more gold. There's not much gold left in this. Let's see if I can scrape some paint here and there. See if I can get any out of here first of all. Maybe I can just... Ooh, that might work. I don't want to ruin my birdies. And it's kind of scraping. I'm having to concentrate because I don't want to scrape across my birdies. Whoa, okay. Here we go. Sorry, guys. I'm focusing on not messing my birdies up. Uh-oh. I hate when my hands just let go like that. It's pretty bad. All right, I scraped some paint, Mary. Told my sister I was going to go live and do a prompt session. I think she wished she wasn't driving. Oh, she had quite the nightmare at her school. She thought she had a leak in the roof in her classroom, and they spent all this time removing cabinets that were getting swollen with water. And then finally they decided maybe they'll remove that ceiling tile because it was starting to bulge. And lo and behold, it wasn't the roof leaking. They had a pipe busted in the ceiling. Now, wouldn't you, as a maintenance person, the first thing I'd do is pull the tile down and look up in there and not just start removing damaged items without knowing where the water was coming from. Oh, boy. Crazy. All right, I'm going to dry this a little bit so I don't smear gold somewhere else. I got lots of gold on mine. Miriam Small Art has a new video up. It just popped up. Oh, Ruth Lamb, that all smells good. That's my biggest downfall with being diabetic is baked goods, especially bread and pie. If I make a pie, I can't leave it alone. I just can't stick with just one piece. I have no control when it comes to pie. I might have to, here, when we get done, go see what Scott's doing because I keep smelling fuel oil. He bought a filter for the line, but I thought he said he was going to wait until we run it out of oil again. Yeah, that's what my brother is leaning toward, that there's a problem with the foot at the bottom of the well. But the problem is they didn't put it at, it's a submersible pump with a foot and everything, but none of it's removable. It's all permanently affixed together down into the well. So they will have to dig it out from what I understand. And it's going to be a real big headache. can hear him moving around down there, Holly. So I know he's still moving around. If he's not moving around, you know, that would be a problem. Okay, is everybody ready for another prompt? And if so, somebody throw one up there. Oh, I can hear him. He's going. I don't know who he's talking to, but. Okay, Rosa says a border. So if you guys want to add a border, you can. My thing is I'm going to chop this up into cards. So I would have to be careful where I put the border. So I'm probably going to hold that prompt for myself somewhere else down the line. Now, Ian is saying some random text. Now that I can do with a stamp. So add some random text. Random text. And then Mary Hill said add some sparkle. So that'll be 11. And yeah, see, if it was removable, it wouldn't be a huge thing. Yeah, I'm going to save the borders until the very end. And Janet's putting the prompts up as they are in order. And you can turn them and mix them around. Since we're calling ahead now, you can reorder them. So if you don't want to do the border now, save it for 12 and go ahead and do your random text, add some sparkle, and then whatever you guys want 12 to be. If somebody wants to call out one more prompt, we can have all 12 of them here, and you can work your last 4 in any order that you want. So if somebody wants add lines, we already did add lines. Add lines is already in here. I don't know if you can see them. I did the hashtags with my lines, the orange on there. All right, we can do wild card for your 12. So you can do anything you want. Wild card. All right, so I'm going to go back up here and do the random text. I have somewhere here, I actually have the stencil with the words, but I think I'm going to stamp. I might better dry it just a little bit more. My goodness, people drive so fast. It's 25 miles an hour in this neighborhood, and I don't think a soul does it. I'm going to use this. This is it looks like text, but it's kind of gobbledygook. That's what I'm going to use. And I'm just going to put it on wherever it wants to fall. And Kathy's happy with having a wild card, so that works out good. And I'm just using Stays On, and I think this is jet black. I don't know if I have it right side up, upside down. I don't really think it matters. That gold might still be just a little bit wet, but I love the way this stuff smells. Isn't that weird? That Stays On ink. And what I can do is, for my wild card, I might use a gel pen of sorts and outline my birds again to bring them back to the surface, because I'm kind of knocking them back a little bit with this stamp, which I'm fine with. It's just I'm aware of it, to put it that way. Yeah, I can hear Scott still moving around down there. He's doing fine. we just decided today would be kind of a day to hang at the little house and not do anything or go anywhere. There was a lady, I can't remember what day it was this week, but she was killed on 385. I hate getting on 385, but it's kind of the loop to everywhere here in Greenville. In Highway 85 and 385, it's just one great big mess. All right, that's probably overkill on the text, but it'll be all right. I know how to make it work. All right, so add sparkle. Maybe I can add some sparkle to my birds. I'll dry that ink first. Oh, goodness. Kathy says her hand is covered in blue, purple, and gold paint now. I'll be interested to see what everybody's looks like. So if you do Instagram, here, hang on. If you're on Instagram, take a picture and put the hashtag prompt pics. Prompt pics. That's hashtag PROMPTPICKS. Prompt pics. And then that way we can look it up and see everybody's. And of course, if you're in my group, you can put it in there too. Thanks, Janet. Of course, I'll post a picture of mine, cut up so that you can see where I've added the border. All right, I think, let me see what I can find here. Oh, that's not good. There we go. I'm going to use this glue pen. Oh, goodness. Now that essential oil was going to come flying out of there. This is some this stuff here, Creative Keepsakes. Stamping glitter, and this is a real fine kind of a blue color, pastel aqua. And what I'm thinking is use my little glue pen, maybe do something on the wings of the birds and sprinkle that glitter on and let it dry. See, I need piece of just this will work. I want to catch that glitter. No sense wasting it if I can catch it and put it back in the container, right? So if I start in this upper corner, it's flowing. Oh, I think it's got sprinkly bits here. Oh, it's not been opened. By the time I get done messing with it, the glue will all be dry. All right. And I usually just sprinkle a little bit on and let that set while I go do the next thing. That's not perfect, but one thing I think is fun about the Ancestry DNA stuff is I found out I'm almost 80% from the UK as far as my bloodline goes. I thought that was interesting. There was family lore of other things, you know, but blood doesn't lie. So that's been interesting. Be interesting to see what these are going to look like when I dump that extra glitter off. So I don't know who all is here that's used Hangouts before, but I was thinking it might be fun to just do some small Hangouts with, you know, 3 or 4 people, and we could just get together and hang out and craft together from time to time. Probably should put some on their tail too. Let me get this on here. But I'm thinking we need to have a set day so that it's a time that could be set aside to get together. And I don't want to stay on too long today simply because I want to rest up for Mary, for Mary's live. Oh, that's going to be too much glue. I can tell already. So if that is something that interests you, you need to just somehow get your email address to me, and I can send you an email when I do one, and we can hang out together once in a while. I don't think I'd want to do it as a live, though, simply because that would be really hard to keep up with chatting with the folks that are in the Hangout and keeping up with everybody that's in the chat. Does that make sense? Oh dear. I don't know if that worked out too good. Some of the Stays on ink was still a little damp, but you could see the glitter on their wings. Is that enough sparkle, or should I put some on their tail? It's one of the options on the go. Okay, I've missed something. I'm not sure, Ian, what you're talking about. I missed something. Yeah, I'm trying to keep the group smaller. Instead of having this huge, ever-growing group. And I know a lot of people strive for that. They want their group to be huge. But I want our group to be a little bit more intimate on Facebook. Instead of just opening it up and having, you know, thousands of people on the group. I would find that overwhelming for me. There's plenty of groups that don't mind getting bigger and bigger and bigger, but I just want to keep ours kind of small. I think we're currently at like 46 or 45. Scott is in the basement, Susan, banging around. I don't know what he's doing. He's doing something. All right, I'm going to add some bits to their tail. I think it needs a little bit. Oh, I put that little cover back on there. Let's just do, Scott's kind of taking it easy like he's supposed to be, but not really. It's just not his nature. He said he wants to die with his boots on. He's not going to be caught in a rocking chair or in the easy chair, as he calls it, the easy chair. It's so hard to get him to just take it easy. It really is just really hard. The doctor we had at the emergency room said, well, he knew he couldn't be too bad off because he was standing behind the bed instead of being laying on the bed. Scott and I have always been the ones to just jump in and do it. Just get the job done. It's really hard on him to think about the fact that we are getting a little bit older. He just doesn't want to believe it. Let's see. How can I get without? Sometimes I feel like I need an arm extension when I do stuff like this that'll go over what I've done before. This is going to have to dry before I can cut it apart. Got all these glue pens at Michael's when we were quitting to sell them. I'm not sure why they quit having them. But I got a whole bunch of them on clearance. I left them for people to buy for a while. And then finally I said, well, I guess I'll just buy some and take them home and give them a try. So I kind of like them with something like this because you can make lines and then sprinkle this fine glitter on and you can end up with something really pretty. I will also put some clear coat across this before I cut it up, I think, because then I can lock all this glitter in. All right, you know how they put that little piece of rubber on the end? For these glue pens, I've been putting it back on just so they don't dry out. Most of the time with pens, I just throw it away and then I lose it. All right. Chat won't allow you to post links. And what? I do not understand what's going on with YouTube. It's crazy. They put your moderators in timeout. There we go. Now their tails have a little bling bling to them too. All right, so let me put this back in here. I don't know if this is something I can dry with the heat gun to speed it up or if it would melt it and make a mess. I've never really had much experience with the real use for all this stuff. You know, I bought it or I got it in some kind of Goodwill bag or something or on sale somewhere. So I've never done any. It just says shake glitter over clear drying craft glue or two-sided adhesive. Let the glue dry. Return excess glitter to jar. So that's what I did. All right, so I did the random text and I added some sparkle and then I have a wild card. Oh, okay. Hi, Beth. Let me go see which kitty cat's knocking at the door. What is it? It's you. Hello, Howard. Tippy's asleep on the couch. So I don't know if I can glue this without it messing up. Have y'all ever used the stamping glitter with the glue? Can you use a heat gun without messing it? That would really stink if I messed it up at this point. Thanks, Mary. I'm going to try not to mess it up. Guess we'll learn all at once here. I think the key is to keep everything moving. All right. And for my wild card, I think I will doodle a little bit and see if I can pull my birds back to the surface with this gel pen here. I think it worked. I can't click on it right now myself. Just a minute, Howard. I don't know. That looks kind of weird. I don't know if I like that or not. I don't know. Oh. All right, Howie. All right, Howie out? Callie in?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to go for it and just use the black pen. So now, Callie wants in.
Hi, Isla.
I guess I could have just got the stencil back out and stuck it down and traced around in it, but that's okay. Oh, I messed up that one's tail. You can always hide any boo-boos with your greeting. It's kind of easier to go. Around that other way.
I read that as I had to get rid of the ref, and I was like, we have a referee?
I wanted to bring those birds back out because they kind of got lost, you know, in the background. The background's quite busy on this one, you guys. But I figured it'd be fun to get y'all involved in picking the prompts today. So I like to mix it up every now and then and make it a little something different each time. So we don't get bored. We don't want to get bored. the cats have heard Scott. He's down there talking to them. I heard him just say, well, come on in. He accidentally locked Howie in down there one night, and we could hear him crying. We didn't know where he was. And I said, were you in the basement at all yesterday? He said, yeah. And he let Howie out of the basement, and he was dirty where he'd been trying to find a way out. And here we go. I've got a big old glob of stuff on the end of this pen. I think it's glitter. Thanks, Janet. Thanks, guys. All right, I'm going to just do like this. Upside down letter C with a circle in the middle. For U upside down. That one a little too close to his beak, but it'll be all right. Good enough. Clean the tip off that. Uh-oh. Didn't go back in the jar. Uh-oh. It picked up the black. That's not what I wanted it to do. Let's go to one that maybe is a little bit drier. It's not going to do. I got to get these dry. Isla, I did not. I do not believe I got one from you. But I seem to be having trouble getting some mail for some reason. Now, there is a mail carrier that works on the weekends that he acts like he can't see this tiny cottage. We are sat back in from the road, but the mailbox is out there with the number on it. So, but sometimes he just flies by on the weekend, and it's obvious, you know, either he just doesn't want to deliver mail or he doesn't take the time to notice that there is a mailbox here. There we go. That's what I wanted. It worked for one. Now it's getting all gummed up again. There. That's all I want is a little white dot, and it just doesn't want to do. I don't know what it is about that one's eyeball. It doesn't like it. All right. All right. So I did my wild card. I added some sparkle. I did the random text. I can clear coat the individuals, I guess. And then that way the border will be clear coated as well. Let me grab my slicer dicer here. We'll cut this down. I'm going to do, I think if I remember right, it's 9 by 12. So 4.5 this way. So that'll give me half that way.
So there's 4.5. And then if I divide this by 3, I can do 4.5 by 4 cards. And that's what I'd been doing. So see, that'd be a card front. And there's a couple more cards there. There we go. Ooh, I cut his beak off. That one doesn't. And sometimes when I cut them up, I don't end up with a full bird on each one. So what you could do then is I could go on another piece of cardstock and then just maybe stencil these birds out. Oh, Sharon's got a question. Let's see. Sharon, just email me at okay? And put in there that you want to art together. Is that what you're saying? That would be great. See, this would be a perfect card instantly. Could just put a little greeting right there, put my thank you there, and that one would be done. I'm really toying with the idea, though, of stenciling some more of these birds out on cardstock in that teal color and letting them dry and cutting them out and then raising them up a little bit so I can put one kind of centered like this one is, like put another one there and then a sentiment. So I'm going to go ahead and add a border to these. And then I can clear coat these and do the birds. So I won't be able to finish these today, but I can get them pretty close. Get my got milk tray down here. I like that these trays I got at the thrift store because then I can put things that need to dry. I can put them up on a shelf somewhere that the cats can't get to it and mess them up. So let's see. What do I want to add my border with? I wish I had a gold Posca pen, but I messed the tip up. So it's all messed up now. I'm trying to think of what else I have. Those deco markers, they give you a different effect than the Posca pens. So I don't really want to do that. I've got white ones, but that would look too far off. And I've got a Sharpie. Let's just see what this Sharpie looks like on there. All right, I might use this gold Sharpie. And then I'll set these aside and stencil some more of the birds separate. I'll just come in a little ways from each end. It'll draw on here. It's not drawing. Okay, that's not working. It's not showing. I think if I had another squeezy bottle like Mary, I could just do some borders like that with her fine line stuff. got these. Let's see if any of these have enough in them to do something. Oh, this one looks like it's going to work. Let's see. And I just eyeball a 1/4 inch from the edge. It's never perfect, but I'll just go around them. Kind of glad we went to Walmart for groceries last night, because today has been nasty weather. And then if I do some more birds on just a piece of cardstock and cut them out, fussy cut them, and just put them in the middle to decorate, that'll look pretty cool. Boy, you guys are getting a real darkness here. Whew! Well, that scared the daylights out of me. I don't know about the rest of y'all. So yeah, I like that. Put that on there. These will have to sit somewhere to dry. So like I said, I'll wait to post my picture until they're done. Maybe I might even wait until they're made into cards. You think black would look better? Well, I've already started with this, and I try to, when I'm making up a set of 6 cards to mail out, I try to make them all pretty close. And I could always go back and add a black line next to this glitter, but I have to wait for it to dry. Another thing I like to do when I'm making these into cards is to mat them with black, because when you put black behind it, it makes the whole thing pop. So that might be something I do as well. I'm going to have to feed Scott soon. He'll be getting hangry at me. Curiosity's getting the better of me too. I want to know what he's doing in the basement. Oh! Just about rolled into it. Oh, these are going to be pretty. But I think I will do that real quick. Stencil out some more birds. Maybe make them a more intense blue-green. I'll check the chat here when I finish this one. Make sure I haven't missed anything important. For anybody new that doesn't know, if you really want me to see it, if you do the @ sign and then Aunt Beck's Creations, it'll change whatever you're getting ready to tell me. There'll be a Aunt Beck's Creations right before your message. That'll be in orange for me. Like not Shannon. Janet just did it. Janet, you know, I hadn't thought about it, but I don't see why you couldn't clean these out and then refill them. That's a good idea. That is a good idea, because I know this part right here, it does come out. You just grab it with some pliers and jerk it out. It's just setting in there. So that's an excellent idea. Sometimes they get so gummed up
and plugged up, though. It's hard to clear it without a pin. And some of them I've gotten kind of aggravated with and cut their tips off so they don't make a nice thin line anymore. I keep thinking I'll get some more like I got of the white. I had that one little applicator, and I don't even know where that came from or how I got it, but I put white paint in it. This is getting down where it doesn't want to squeeze anymore. I think I have a couple more cards to do too. You've got 2 more. Another thing I do is put black ink on the edge of the paper because this paper was white. And then when I go ahead and I mount that down on black cardstock, because I've edged the edge with black, it kind of just flows smoothly and you don't have a white line to break it up. Does that make sense? But I just love to mat the pieces on black because it just sets them off so pretty when they're turned into cards. All right. Wish I could leave that upside down somewhere. There we go. That'll work. Piece of PVC pipes coming in play again. Oh, it's just because I like to make them as sets, Debbie. I mean, it doesn't have to. You can do whatever you want. It's just a thing I like to do. I like to make a set that looks the same. They're pretty like that when you do a photograph for your blog. If they all are pretty much the same, just have slight differences. So the photos I take for my blog aren't too busy. That's the only reason why. And I've been keeping my blog since 2006, so it's more, I share my art and crafts on there, but it's more of our family stuff that we do, day-to-day life adventures. And it's just lifeforus.blogspot.com. That's our blog. And I don't write on it every day. I used to, before I found YouTube, I would blog post every single day or very nearly every day. And I would read other blogs. But my blog is kind of, I'm starting back to it simply because I would like it to be something that my son can look at when I'm gone. This one, the label's fallen off. This is a Studio G, so I would say yes. This is Studio G glitter glue. It's that cheap stuff from Michael's. When I get done with this one, I'm going to have to sign off and fix us something to eat because I'm starting to not feel so good myself, and that's always an inkling that we do need to eat. So you can tell when you, and we're trying to eat cleaner today because we've been eating bad stuff, you know, at the different mothers' houses and stuff. It's hard to be good at Christmas time. So we've been very non-diabetic friendly eating, and I have to go to the diabetic education. I'm going to that on the 2nd or 3rd at the Life Center. So I'm going to go learn how I should be eating and how to improve our eating. To improve our...
Okay.
Yeah, we don't need to be baking cake all the time. Oh, I'm getting crooked too. Scott's back. Everybody say hi, Scott.
Don't tell everybody.
They can hear you.
Oh, no.
Ding dong.
All right, so that's where I'm going to leave it. And I'll see y'all later over at Mary's channel. I'll be back to play over there. Whatever Mary's got planned, I don't know. It's going to be a surprise, I reckon. Everybody's saying, hey, Scott. He's eating peanuts, so he's got his mouth full of peanuts. Here. Excuse any mess in the background. There he is.
Hey, everybody.
See his new hat? I made it out of the yarn I got at the thrift store.
It messes my hair up. Huh?
Yeah, all 2 hairs, you guys. 2 hairs he has. Mary, you do it on the 30, right? So you are 8:30 my time. Is that correct? I'm going to bring you down a little bit. I feel like I got you in the moon. There you go. 7:30 p.m. Central. Yeah, I thought Mary's the one that does the half hour. Yeah, and I think that pattern for Scott's hat was a Lion Brand pattern. So it's on their website. It's super easy. It's nothing but rows of single crochet. And then you gather up the top and you're done. And down the, you got to do the side seam or back seam, wherever you put your seam. Okay, guys, I will see you guys later. Thank you so much for coming and playing on this rainy, yucky day. Take care. Bye, guys.